At UFC 309 in Madison Square Garden, New York, headlined by two of the greatest of all time, John Jones and Stipe Miocic. One of Wales's own, the Welsh Gangster, Mr. Oban Elliott, takes on Basil Hafez on the prelims. Ben, let's just talk about his UFC journey so far. August 2022, had a chance and he absolutely snatched it with both hands with a absolute war against Kite Brito. Then went on to beat Val Woodburn by unanimous decision and Preston Parsons at UFC Manchester back in July. He takes on Basil Hafez, as I just said. Looking at this year in past, does he deserve to win Welsh Fighter of the Year?
If he wins at 309, I don't think. I mean, who else can? Who you can't say anyone else. I mean, you all right? If I list off a few of the names, Johan Harris comes to mind. Great start to his professional journey. He's really carried that on this year. Same with Josh O'Connor. There are some really great names to be included in the conversation. But UFC three pay-per-views somehow found himself into this like star power aura about him already. It's not been that long. So, I mean, for me, there's no doubt. I think he's the fighter of the year. I think if he wins at 309 on a John Jones card, and if he gets a finish, I think he's got a really big year in 2025 if he wins. I don't know who they'd give him next if he does win this one and wins it in style, but he's my fighter of the year. I don't think anyone's going to debate that.
And I mean, looking at his record, for example, he's what, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven in a row at the moment. He is lacking in the finishes, but seven wins in a row in Cage Warriors and the UFC. I mean, that's got quite a big 2025 ahead of him, hasn't he?
Talk to me about how much you think he's actually progressed in that time, because I mean, the last performance in Manchester, the maturity on show, the progression that we've seen in him, it's been great. What are your thoughts on his progression?
I mean, Oban Elliott, since hitting the UFC, has progressed absolute leaps and bounds. I mean, I know he's seven fights winning, he's on a seven-fight winning streak, and he looks absolutely phenomenal at the moment. But you look back at some of the last fights under the Cage Warriors banner, and I think even he would say maybe at times his stamina wasn't always there. But you look at the fights against Val Woodburn, Kite Brito, Preston Parsons, his stamina has looked second to none. But I want to talk just a bit quickly about his last fight versus Preston Parsons in Manchester. One thing that looked absolutely sensational, and I think the best of his career, it was such a mature performance, but it was his takedown defense. His takedown defense, his takedowns, they looked absolutely phenomenal. And I think that is an absolute credit to Shore MMA. They've come on absolute leaps and bounds with their wrestling, especially Oban Elliott. And he just looked absolutely fantastic. I don't think there was a takedown landed on him in that whole fight. No matter how many times Preston Parsons tried to get that takedown, his takedown defense was always there. And that's just his fight IQ at the moment. And I mean, that might be the confidence coming off seven wins in a row, but his fight IQ is just top of the game at the moment. And then tomorrow, UFC 309 is just, it's another test with Basil Hafez, but his takedown defense against Preston Parsons is definitely some confidence that he can take into his next bout.